Hello, Aku here again. Welcome to episode 12 of my v0.4 1.5.2 beta let's play. This is a new version. We're on to 0.4. Tom sorted the server out. He did a couple of things. He had to change, well, he added NAI plugins, which I'm going to show you in a minute. It's pretty cool. And we also changed the MFR config in the common.conf file to use thermal expansion recipes instead of the GregTech ones. So I'm not sure if the GregTech ones worked or not, but Tom was looking for them and he felt that the GregTech ones are taking the piss a bit. The vanilla ones are too easy, because the vanilla ones you just have to make a machine block using plastic and smooth stone, which of course is, if you played the game vanilla just with MFR added, then you need a recipe. So that's we felt the vanilla recipes were too cheap. The thermal expansion recipes are actually quite well balanced, so we've gone with them ones. And if we look at thermal expansion, so let's just use our usual mod thing here. If we look at Manufacturer Reloaded. So I think we might have needed NAI plugins to get NAI to work for this. I'm not sure. Tom sorted it all out. So now we've got recipes for all these in here, and you can see most of them follow the same path as the thermal expansion machines do, with a machine frame and a coil in there, whether it's reception or most of them are reception coils, aren't they? Of course, makes more sense. So yeah, machine frame, coil, a couple of ingots. Generally how you make most thermal expansion machines, if you remember. Item collector is just machine frame in there. So it makes them quite a balanced recipe, I think. I've never heard anyone complain that thermal expansion machines are too cheap or too expensive. So balancing these onto the thermal expansion recipes, I think makes good sense. So we can start making our stuff, and in a minute, in this episode, when I get around to it, I'm going to start making my first tree farm. I've got the bits there ready for it. Before we do that, I'm just going to look at a couple of things. This version 0.4, as far as I can tell, it adds one mod that we didn't have in previously. There may be some more, but I've not noticed if there is more. But one mod it certainly adds that we didn't have is called Thermal Tinkerer. This is pretty cool. I've watched a mod spotlight on this, but I think by Marty Plays, I think it was, who did the mod spotlight. This had some really cool stuff. There's a warded chest, which is like a warded block. It's something that only the personal places it can actually get into, so that's a good secure chest there. Tool dynamism tablets, pretty sweet. You can add a tool like that. For example, if you put one of them in front of a sheep with and added shears to it, give it a redstone pulse off a craft computer or whatever, then it'd keep trying to use the shears on the sheep. So, and it's got a little animated, it'd have a little pair of animated shears above it. Really cool. Adds some nice stuff. Adds dark quartz, which is just normal quartz surrounded by normal quartz around coal. So you get black versions of all the quartz blocks that you can make. Add several ones. Wonder Uprising, Dislocation, Tinkerer, a couple of tools. That's some really useful stuff. One thing it adds that's really useful, this is the one thing that I've researched so far, is spellbinding cloth. I'll show you the research for that. So, a little spoiler here. I did the research for that. I pretty much went with the usual magic cloth, because I thought it'd be similar, if not the same. So, the usual magic cloth there, enchanted fabric. That takes Precantatio Panis, which is the one that looks like a roll of cloth, and that one takes Fabrico, which is like the work one. So I tried the same patterns as that. Obviously, I say I use a wiki to do most of my research, but of course there's no wiki for this, or there isn't one yet that I've found. So the actual research for this is very similar. It's Precantatio Panis, same as the other magic cloth, and then Permutatio Exchange. What this stuff does is you can wipe enchants off items with it. Really cool. What you need for it though is you need bottles of enchanting, and to make bottles of enchanting you need something from some bees that I ain't got yet. But what I can do with that is once I get some of that spellbinding cloth, I could wipe the enchants off that and I could re-enchant it to try and get repair on there. Really cool. Nice bit of kit. Obviously other stuff that I want to look into as well, but I'm gonna have to research these the old-fashioned way by putting things in, seeing what they add. I don't know what I did that for. So yeah, Thermal Tinkerer, very cool. Add some real nice stuff. Looking forward to using that. And well, yeah, for now though, another thing I want to show you is these NAI plugins. These are really good. If we look at couple of things. If we look at, first of all, if we look at forestry, it adds something else useful as well. I can't remember. I remember saying that it adds something that adds that's really useful. One thing that adds that's really useful is, look at all these bees in here. Now, if you look at, for example, a cultivated drone, and right, if you just click on that or press R, it'll give you the bees that make a cultivated. It'll show you what they are. So obviously it doesn't show anything for forest and meadows, they're hive bees. But if you press R, it shows you that you get a cultivated from a forest and a common, or a forest and a meadow, common and a meadow, blah blah blah. Let's actually look at common, that'll be easier. No, what? Let's look at something that you want to get one of. There we go. So to get a noble bee, 10% chance, combine a common and cultivate. That's our next bee we're going for, by the way, on the B side of the Let's Play. We'll be going for nobles and we'll be going for diligence, which are exactly the same. Common and cultivated, 10% chance to give you either a noble or a diligent. So that's the next bees we'll be going for. So you can see there the percentage chance of mutation, really cool. And then if you mouse over a bee and press U, it'll show you what that bee goes into. Really cool. There, noble, majestic, imperial. So that's what we're going for there, imperial. And then if you click the little arrow on the top, it'll show you what that bee produces. The majestic bee produces dripping combs, 30% chance of producing a dripping comb. Awesome, really cool. I think I just crashed the game by pressing that recipe tab. Back in a sec. Okay, I'm back. So yeah, you possibly don't want to press the that button when you're on there. Something else about bees as well. There's all these thalmic bees that I generally don't do a lot of. I get the basic one. I get the aura bee because it's got the fastest speed and stuff. But there's loads of bees here that produce materials that I've previously used soul shards to get. Now, because we ain't got soul shards in, we eventually will get back, I'm fairly sure. But I probably will be looking into more of the thalmic bees than I've done in the past. I mean, you've got bees that, there you go, plumum gamandi, for example. Let's look at, obviously you can't see these because you have to research them, I guess. Will it show me? Oh, show me what they produce. Cool. 7% chance of a lead nugget off plumum, and 3% chance of a diamond shard off Demandi. So you can make bees that produce metals out of thalmic bees as well. So obviously we haven't got extra bees yet, but I'm sure that will be coming as well. Yeah, just to say there's something else that NEI plugins does that I remember when I heard about it. I thought that's really cool, but I can't remember for the life of me what it was. Right, what we're going to do this episode is a couple of things. We're going to start getting on with our farm in just a minute. Before we do that though, now we've got power. We've got EU power. I can actually start using that. And what I've got here is, I've got a nice full MFSU, 10 million EUs. I can improve the way I'm getting around. And all I'm going to do that is I'm going to make a jetpack. And jetpack's pretty straightforward. There we go. There'll be some more getting added when we get some Gravity Suite is IC2 add-on that I'm sure we'll be getting back that we haven't got at the minute. But Gravity Suite adds advanced jetpack, and I think it adds upgrades to the nano suit to incorporate a jetpack into it, or possibly a lap pack, possibly both. But for now, we can make a jetpack that runs off fuel, Buildcraft fuel, or one that runs off EU. So we're going to make the EU one, and it's actually really straightforward if you look at it. Advanced circuit, some refined iron, a back box, really simple. So I'm going to really quickly make one of them if I've got enough. That's what I went up there for, and I forgot all about it. I want to get some rubber out of the extractor. Thank you very much, Mr. Extractor. So I need to make a circuit and I need to make some RE batteries. So let's get on with this. RE batteries, I should have some. Yep, I've got some of them. I think we need 4 of them. Is that right? You need 1 for the top and 3 for there. That's good. So tin. Three of them made. A bit of extra tin for no apparent reason. And we want 1 circuit, don't we? So it's an advanced circuit we need. Getting pretty low on materials, as I mentioned yesterday. Have to sort that out pretty soon. And we've got any refined iron? No, so let's get 4 of them cooking. 5 of them cooking. 1 for the circuit, of course, and 4 for the actual jetpack itself. And rubber can go back in there. And we need some wood for the... Let's make this first. Let's make... I'm waiting for that eye. Fool. Let's make that first. There we go. And let's upgrade that into an advanced circuit. Like so. I guess I'll have advanced circuit up there, and now these three with a copper cable and some wood. I'm not sure if this redwood will work, we can see. It does work, excellent. This is a back box. We need 2 more refined iron, that should be in here, there we go. And then a couple of bits of glowstone extra for the jets. Gets us electric jetpack, hooray! And I have to manually charge this for now, but later on, any machines like this you can set up an automatic charging station for, but that's a little bit more advanced than what we've got. You can actually do it with an MFSU just by sending it in and out of the top using some kind of couple of emerald pipes. Works quite well for it, but for now we'll just manually charge that. And what I can do with this is some things you could enchant a lot of electric stuff before, and some of it was bugged, and I'm pretty sure the jetpack was actually intended. So because your jetpack takes your chest slot, I think it's intended that you can... Whee! I think it's intended that you can actually enchant this. So what we're going to do... You can only enchant it with books though, so what we're going to do is we're going to go down here. I've got 22 levels on me. That should be cool. In this little bookcase here, we've got loads of books that we've collected, and one of the ones we've got is protection 4. There it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if this still works. It says, I'm pretty sure you used to be able to enchant all kind of nano suits and stuff. That was a bug. I'm pretty sure you could enchant this. What am I doing? Anvil. I'm pretty sure you could enchant the jetpack, and I'm pretty sure it was intended. So what you can do there is you can get that protection 4. So now not only does that let me fly around, it actually offers me a bit of protection as well. So I'm going to bang that on there. It's going to cost 6 levels. Cool. And one other one I'm going to try is, I think I've got an unbreaking 2. Unbreaking 1, unbreaking 2. I'm going to put that on there as well. What that'll do is, unbreaking 2 will mean it'll use a little bit less power when it's flying around. So unbreaking generally means things that wear out as quick, durability doesn't go down. So with a jetpack, unbreaking 2 mean my power lasts me a little bit longer, I believe. So it used to work. So now we've got a jetpack, we can go here. And oh, something else I want to add while I've got some levels is onto my boots here. Just because I've got a jetpack and they kind of hurt when you land, I'm going to add this feather falling book, 15 levels. So I can't add that just yet, I need to get some more levels on me. But when I've got 15 levels, I'll be adding that feather falling book. Put that in there for now. To them, so I don't hurt myself as much. What I need to do now is go outside and fly. Whee! You see you drop pretty quick, and you let yourself when you drop, if you drop high enough. What we can do is set this to hover mode. Now, ouch, there we go. I need to work out what the hover mode key is. So if we go to controls, and there should be a mode switch key. Mode switch M. There we go, hover mode enabled. Excellent. So hover mode is a bit slower, quite a bit slower. But what it does is when you let go of the space button, I'm pressing space button to fly by the way. But you let go of the space button, it'll just drop you to earth nice and slow. So if you're in danger of dropping to your death, you're probably best in hover mode. It also makes the power last longer, so it's a bit steadier. But it's definitely worth using in hover mode if you're not really good at keeping yourself from falling to your death like me. There we go. We've got a bit better mobility now. Let's turn that off to show you how quick it goes without it. So it is significantly quicker. You've got to keep feathering the space bar to keep flying. When you ain't got hover mode on, saying that most of the time, I'm patient. I stick in hover mode. I'm going to kill that thing there to get a bit of XP off it, because it's quite liberal with the XP as you see there. Something else you can make, I don't know if I showed you it on Jim's place actually. These slime bricks, slime balls I mean, what you can do with these, just do this real quick, getting a bit sidetracked, but what the hell, how the hell did I do that then? I made these into bricks, I can't remember how I did it. Oh yeah, it's just like that, of course it is. I made a chisel. Now chisel is another one of the Tinker's Construct tools, and all you need to do with that is put your chisel in there with them. It makes these slime bricks. Now I made some at Jim's place. Let's go have a look at them. What slime bricks do for you is, I'm going to turn that off just for a sec because I want to get that over there, and I actually want to fall on purpose. So there's some slime bricks up there that I made for him. I don't know if I've shown you this before actually. He's got these faith plates here. These are from the Portal mod. What these do is this catapult you. And what we do is, if we land on them, boing, you bounce and you don't take any damage. So they're actually really nice, these slime bricks. So especially if you're living somewhere tall like this, you end up with loads of these slimes. Making a chisel is really easy. It's a standard Tinker's Constructs item. Whee! Actually, the way you can land off them is just have one layer of water these days. You only need a single block of water now to stop any fall damage, so you could just have a single block of water at the bottom as well. But if you wanted to have a nice long drop, in theory I could have, possibly should have actually. I made another Farmcraft item there, Wonder Equal Trade, one of my favourite items in the game. I said I was going to make one, I did it off camera. What I can do is I place one of these, let's see if it works for these. What a Wonder Equal Trade does is, if you get it on your bar and you shift right click an item, you see it's set that to the item, so above my bar now, it's showing that I've got 63 of them in my inventory. So now what I can do is, if I right click, it turns all them and there into it. If you left click, it does one at a time. But now I can fall out of there and it won't hurt me. I suppose I should do all this. Let's see how far we get. I've only got 12 left. Make some more of them. Run out of seat. So showing you there that I've got none left in my inventory. That little number there's an addition. That one on before. That's pretty cool. So now when I'm up there, I can just run out of here. Oh, but I can just run out of there and land on that. And it won't hurt. And they'll look quite nice as well. Yeah, that'll do for me. I'll take that. Thanks. Right, let's get on with MFR stuff. I'll cut the camera, make sure, so in case I don't mess it up. And I'll come back and I'll start making our first MFR farm. And oops, threw the chisel on the floor. Look at that. Let's put the chisel back in there, and let's get on with making our tree farm. Right, I've done a few things off camera. I've kind of set up a little power line. Now this may not work very well at all, but I've tapped our power off there. I've gone behind, and you can see it behind the back of the liquid up there. I've set up a little area here where I'm going to put the planter here, the harvester there. The harvester will get power. The harvester will put items into this gold pipe. We'll feed saplings back into the planter, and I'm going to put things into just a chest for now, and then possibly upgrade that to either ender chest or a bigger chest, depending on what I'm going to do. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do at the minute, to be honest. I'm playing this by ear a little bit. This is a terrible place for a tree farm, I think. I don't even know if it's going to grow, and it could damage the tree. But screw it. Let's do it and see what happens. What's the worst that could happen here? I could have to build a base, which I plan to do at some point anyway. Right. I'll quickly tidy this up just so I don't get confused with what's in my inventory. So I'll bang them in there. Don't want to do that. And bang spare bits of wood in there. Diamond pipes can go in there. As can redstone energy conduit. I just made a load more of them. I made 32 more of them. So I used 8 hardened glass, made 16 electrum. Of course, electrum's just gold and silver in the induction smelter. And I needed a full stack of redstone in the magma crucible for liquid redstone. So I've got 32 conduits. That's what let me wire things up. And now let's grab our bits out of here. And so I want all this stuff. What I'm going to make with this is, first of all, I need a couple of shears. This is for the harvester. Right, remember which order these are in. Let's get our crafting table up. So the harvester, I believe, is like so. Is it? They'll be there. And is it gold? It is gold. So there's a harvester. Straightforward enough. And then The planter is similar, it uses pistons and copper and a flower pot. There we go, there's our planter. So there's our first two MFR machines. We're going to need some saplings, of course. I've only got 14, which is a start. Let's see if this works. This could go terribly wrong. Oh, well, I remember when I put jetpack in, when I made a jetpack earlier, or when I looked at making one, I saw this thing, encased fire jet. So I was a bit curious, so I thought I'd make one. I clicked on it and it saw need some lava, some redstone, some encased tower wood, and a fire jet. So encased tower wood planks, and you make them from dark wood. Well, I had a lot of dark wood because that's in the forest where the portal goes to. Speaking of, oh, must have repaired that. Must have thrown another diamond in there. That bloody creeper blew this up yesterday and blew the portal up. So I had to remake it. So it cost me a diamond. Anyway, long story short, I went in. If you remember, we're near a Hydra where that big hill is. I pinched a fire jet out the floor and I made it into one. So this is one of the crafted fire jets here. What I can do there with a button press. It takes a few seconds to warm up and then kicks out fire for a few seconds. Not sure what practical use I can think of that other than traps at the minute. But quite interesting that you can trigger it off every few seconds off a redstone pulse. Not sure what damage that's going to do to mobs. Certainly sets you on fire. So could make a funky mob farm with that, I suppose. I'm sure I'll find something to use it on. Let's just put myself out in the water there before I burn to death. Right, let's place these in. So, like I said, this is all very... I think my whole base at the minute is all very subject to change. This is generally how I do things. I'll build up a base and then I'll get to a point where I move. And then when I move, I'll build somewhere purpose built to actually suit my needs a lot better. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bang trees in there. I'm not even sure if they'll grow or not because it's a pretty closed in space, isn't it? So they may not even grow. The other thing you can do, this will also collect sludge, and if you put a liquid pipe up the back, you can collect sludge into a sludge boiler. I haven't bothered doing that just yet. That can make you some useful stuff. I probably should make a sludge boiler as well. Let's just have a look. We've got access behind there for a pipe. No, I've got the power in the back, haven't I? Of course. So we're making this a lot messier. You have to make it quite a bit messier for it to work like that. But unlike other stuff, if this fills up, it won't stop the machine. If this fills up, the machine will just carry on and it'll ignore the fact that it's got a lot of sludge in there. So it'll only collect sludge as long as there's somewhere for the sludge to go, and having sludge in there will not stop production. So that's okay. I'm going to have to cover that other block off. As you can see off camera earlier as well, I've just finished these. I finished them landing them sticky blocks off as a landing pad. I could do with really some fertilizer, which is probably the next thing I'm going to make. Certainly the next things I should make. And I need a chest for there, don't I? Let's grab a chest as well. Let me up. It's kind of weird with a jetpack on. I jump slower than with a jetpack on, as opposed to off. I kind of jump quicker, I think, with it off. It's hard to tell. With the jetpack in hover mode, I think I'll jump quicker with it off. The next thing I certainly should make is a sewer for where my cows and stuff are, and turn that sewage in a composter into fertilizer, and then I should actually go do that now. I think. Let's get them bits made. We'll see if any of these trees grow. Not sure there's much chance of them growing in there. So I've kind of sunk it in and there's not much room around it. These at least might have to go. We'll see, we'll see. I'm just curious to see if they'll grow or not. I think I'm too close into stuff there. I think it's a bit of a shit build. But yeah. See, Fowler's just been on looking at Jim's turtles. Let's get rid of that. Now we want sewer. Nice and straightforward. That's bricks. And we want a composter. Now the composter needs power. Sewer need power as well, I don't remember. So that's more bricks, more pistons, and a furnace. Right, I'm going to cut the camera, I'm going to make these, and then... Ooh, I had a tree get cut down. What I hadn't done, foolish mistake, is I didn't set the diamond pipe to put saplings back in, did I? So, what colour's that way? Blue. So I want that sapling. I want saplings as long as I can to go blue. Blue, not green. Fool. So now saplings will go blue. We've got one wood out of that. That's it's not very encouraging, is it? How small was a bloody tree? Right, what I think I might have to do is extend this. Have it over here, out in the open. Which is why I made that many conduits, to be honest. But we shall see. Certainly did hear it in action. So now you should see there'll be some sludge in the plant, in the harvester there. Oh, there you go. Half a bucket of sludge. These things, you can have it so it'll keep leaves. So if you wanted leaf blocks, you set it to that. And instead of giving you saplings, so sheer leaves no give you saplings, sheer leaves yes will give you leaf blocks instead of saplings. Shrooms, I've never actually done the shroom farm bit, but we'll have to. I'll be doing shrooms at some point, so we'll check that. And then jungle wood. I'm not sure what that bit's about either. Never used them yet, but if someone who has used them, they're probably pretty self-evident. I suppose I could use some bone meal. Will that work? Let's grab some bone meal. I've got loads of bones. I should really pulverise this. Oh, I've got some bone meal anyway. Pulverising bones gets you more bone meal than just doing it in your inventory. This might not work with it being. So that one grew. And a big one grew there. Shit, that is a big one. You see that gets rid of all the leaves first, then gets rid of the wood. What about that first one? I had one bit of wood then. So with bone meal, this seems to be growing fine. So with fertiliser, they'll grow fine as well. But naturally, I think they might not grow very well down here. And it certainly seems that the trees are right there. I've done ones right up against this side there, and I'm stuck. Okay, well, temporary this might do for now. At least it'll get some wood built up. And right, I'll go make them other bits, and we'll sort them out. Get them wired up. We'll see how that works. Okay, so here we are. I think I'm going to have to have a bit of a rethink of what's going on here. Base is nowhere near big enough. What I'm going to do, I think, is what I said I'll do last episode, and that's set the quarry up. The quarry just sat in my bag there. I haven't done anything with it. Plans kind of changed with the version changing to 0.4, but I think what I need to do is possibly below this floor is quarry out a bigger area here and use this as a farm area, but quarry out to maybe like 2 chunks by 2 chunks. Speaking of chunks, let me just show you real quick. The reason, if you press F9 you get the chunks from chicken chunks. Well, if you look, they are there, but look in the sky, it's not connected to the player properly. If you press F9 again, you get the green block around where the player would be stood. You can see that's meant to be centered on the player, and it's not centering right. So the things are there. Oh shit! Well, there you go with the with the jetpack. Son of a bitch! And it's bound to happen, won't it? Bound to happen. Right, I'll get my shit, and then we'll make this sewer and stuff that I had ready to make in my inventory, but now is scattered all over the floor. Back in a bit. Let's try that again. Right, well, remember, I've just killed a couple of mobs to get back up to enough levels to add that feather fall onto these boots, like I should have done before. I think I was at 22 levels before I died, so I could have probably avoided that death by adding feather falling to these things. So there we go. Now I should not take damage as much when I fall. I think feather falling only goes to 2. If it did go to 3, we could be able to tell by... Oh, it does go to 3. Look, for another 16 levels, because I've got a feather falling 2 book on there, and that's another feather falling 2 book, they'll combine to make feather falling 3. So I could add that onto them. This, if them boots add on just protection instead of blast protection, they'd be like pretty much the perfect boots for the traveller, I think. Once I've got feather falling on as well. But okay, another 16 levels. I'll probably add that on as well then, just to finish that up. Make it so I can fall from greater heights without hurting myself, because that's always useful, isn't it? Being able to fall a bit. Yeah, right. I'm gonna make these bits. Probably not gonna wire them up because they might not work so well. But first thing I need to do is determine whether or not the sewer needs whether it needs power. I'm not really I don't really remember if it does. I think it does. Let's just put one there. I don't think it does. There's no power bar. What there is though that we are going to have to deal with is there is an upgrade bar, and what the upgrade bar does is these only work on 1 block radius standard. So basically my farms are going to be a 5x5 square like this, with one of them in the middle. So wrong square. Try again. Fool. There we go. So let's break that without damaging anything, without hitting any cow's feet. Right. So this sewer block will collect sewer from any cow that stood right on top of it. Well, we want it to do this area. Now, what I'm going to do with the plant farms is doing vertically, but the animal farms I'm going to do horizontally, because what we can do is with these upgrades, we can, every radius upgrade adds 1 on. So a 1 radius upgrade will make this do a 3x3 because it's 1 radius, so it makes it a diameter of 3. So that'd be the 1 upgrade. Now let's have a quick look at them upgrades. I'm just going to type in upgrades to find them, so that should do us. There they all are, look. So you've got radius 1 all the way up to radius 11. So radius 11 will do 23 by 23 square that can collect sewage from. So we'd want all our farms on one horizontal plateau. There, so we've got a bit of sewage in there from a cow stud. Cow must have gone over the top of it. So what we should do is make that biggest upgrade, and the biggest upgrade is an emerald one. So we'll do that anyway, because it's not the end of the world if we don't ever use it. So I'm going to quickly run upstairs. Need to bang 3 bits. Oh, I've got that thing turned on still. F9. I need to bang 3 bits of rubber back into the powered furnace there to make it into some plastic, raw plastic. 1 gold nugget, 2 redstone. Okay. So for a gold nugget, I need to yeah, get a gold nugget like so. It's not the ideal way, but we've got plenty of emeralds, so that's okay. That's from doing the hollow hills. You get a little bit more emerald than you might otherwise. And of course you can, if you're mining in the overworld, Extreme Hills or Extreme Hills Edge, have a chance of getting emeralds in them as well. But most of these are from hollow hills, especially with my really Fortune 3 pickaxe there. It gets a few more emeralds, I believe. So I've got quite a few there. We've got 3 plastic. So this is totally overkill in this. That's the biggest. That is the biggest one, isn't it? Yeah, that's as big as they go. So we might not always use that in this, but any animal within a massive range of that now, if we stick that in there, that'll start collecting sewage from all these. What we need to do is we need to pipe that sewage into something powered, and that's the other bit we need to make, and that uses, I think it was 2 bricks. Yeah, a thing there. I believe it had furnace at the top, 2 pistons, and that leaves room for 2 plastic sheets. There we go, composter. So what the composter does, let's put it there and have a look at it. Composter, it'll take in that sewage from there. So we need to liquid pipe that into there, and what this will do is this will output fertilizer, which we can then use in our farms. So if we've got quite a lot of cow farms, you get quite a lot of fertilizer, so you can run more plant farms quicker. So it all helps each other out. So how should we go about doing this? This is very messy. I apologise for the pure mess, the pure state of all this. Right, this, like I say, this is most definitely temporary now. I will certainly be not keeping this as it is. But to show you how things go, let's go across to that. I've got some liquid ducts. So the way liquid ducts work is they've got liquids in the duct connect until you wrench it, so that's why the first one got sewage and these ones won't connect until I give it a little tickle with a wrench. So that won't connect just yet. Let's run some power up there down to this guy. This is the ugliest thing I've ever made. I'll do the liquid ducts there, and we can put a bit of wood back behind there. Now I'm guessing this episode might be getting a bit long, so I'm probably going to wrap it up in a bit. But there we go. That's now got power and it's got liquid. It's got no output yet though. So we just need to wrench this bit so that connects. Oh, I haven't got power yet. I've not connected the top bit, have I? Oh, I've lost my Omni wrench. Son of a bitch. Right, when I go hunting for the Omni wrench, might not have despawned yet. But you always lose something when you die. See if my Omni wrench is up here. Has it been 5 minutes yet? Probably has. Well, that's a shitter. The thing that cost 2 diamonds is gone. Okay, I need to make another Omni wrench. Back when I've sorted that out, and I'll connect the power up, and we'll see that fertilizer in action. Okay, Omni wrench made. Now we can connect the sewage to there just by right clicking that. That'll start feeding sewage into the bottom of this guy. It'll start working, as you can see. I think it's got an internal buffer that's actually storing the fertilizer in at the minute. What we need to do is get a chest on there. So yeah, because I'm used to leaving the fertilizer in my backpack, I forgot to check once I picked it up. So that cost me a couple of diamonds, that little death, but it's not the end of the world. So that should automatically eject fertilizer into there. There we go, our first industrial fertilizer. You can make it using wheat and sticks, string and bone meal as well. But this is just a free way of getting it. It costs a bit of power of course, but free way of getting it from just having animals lurking about. Right, I'm going to wrap up the episode there. I'm going to work out what I want to quarry. I might have to pull all this apart, make my base a bit bigger, and then next episode we can start really going to work on making a big plant farm and a big animal farm. So as always, thank you very much for joining me, and thank you very much for subscribing and stuff as well. It's really very much appreciated. As always, thanks for the likes, favourites, stuff like that. Comments, suggestions, always very welcome and very much appreciated. And I hope you join me next time. Cheers. Bye.